the buy rate would be 252,000. It'd be 10,000 buys up from the previous year. It's actually be one of the higher buy rates of the year, believe it or not.
Interesting.
So WWE in 2008 would earn $39.8 million in pay-per-view revenue, which is a $21.9 million increase from the year before.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so they were killing it at this point, business-wise, in the pay-per-view market. So the brands here would be, of course, Raw, SmackDown, and ECW. The commentators for the show would be Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler for Raw, Mike Adamle and Taz for ECW, and Michael Cole and Mick Foley for SmackDown. And then the theme song for the show would be "Take It All" by Zendaya. That's what they said. I remember, because I was thinking before this how I was going to pronounce it, but then I heard him say it on air, so I'm like, okay, we're good. So then there was a preliminary match here, a dark match, which obviously no one saw except the 11,000, I guess, in the building. It would be a World Tag Team Championship match, actually. It would be Hardcore Howie and Cody Rhodes against Santino Marella and Carlito, which would see Cody Rhodes and Hardcore Howie retain the titles.
Okay.
So
Don't have anything to say about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is during the era where they were just doing dark matches, because in the past, there was Sunday Night Heat. So they'd run that before the show, so you could always, it was kind of like a pre-show basically. And then nowadays they got the kickoff show, but yeah, this is just during that time period where it's just get a dark match there live in person, but you don't see anything until they go on air like at 8 or whatever. So then we'd start the show with the opening contest. It would be a singles match between John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, and John Cena.
Yeah, this, I'm being frank, this sucked. This was a very weird match.
This was a very strange match, of course.
Because I've never seen JBL work this way, the way he worked in this match, in any other match he's done.
Yeah, I mean, if he has, we certainly haven't seen it. Of course, as previously noted, a lot of history between these two. JBL was a big part in the rise of John Cena's career. They famously had their match at WrestleMania 21 where Cena would win his first world title. Even at this very event, Judgment Day, in 2005, they faced off in that absolutely brutal I Quit match for the WWE title as well. One of the most violent and gruesome WWE matches I've ever seen, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I guess here we are a few years later, and this feud would reemerge. I think one thing that's worth mentioning is how strange it is seeing Cena also in the opening match on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, especially in 2008.
I know, because he's still really at the top of his game, and still probably at the top star.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's not the world champ, but
maybe at this point they just, I guess at this point they really just had nothing for him.
yeah, so they just figured they just do the JBL feud again. So
It was weird because, so the whole match was JBL basically doing submission holds. Trying to get Cena to submit or just get to her or anything. At some point, he had him in a sleeper hold. At another point, he had him in a full Nelson, right?
Uh-huh.
And then Cena would reverse the full Nelson and try to go for the AA, but he would fall because he was too hurt. But eventually, he hit the AA and pinned JBL. And it was weird because, Cena looked like he was way more hurt than JBL.
Yeah, because even after the match, it's like John Cena is struggling to get back to his feet, and then JBL just walks off on his own power. So I don't understand that. And the whole match is just really slow and it's just dull.
Yeah.
It was kind of like their Mania match in a way, which I don't actually think of people, or a lot of people really even realize how bad that match actually was. Because I remember
it didn't matter because it was just about Cena winning the world title.
Oh yeah, no, so it was acceptable there, but so I think people mostly just think about that, and that's kind of how I try to view it. That's why it's forgivable because of, it was seeing this big moment, and it was his rise to the top, and it was his first world title. But if I remember going back and watching it for the rewind this year, and I was just like, wow, I did not realize how because I remember it wasn't great, but I really did not realize how poor that match actually was.
Yeah, neither did I. when I watch 21 all the time because that's my favorite Mania. I'm sure you know that.
It's one of mine too.
Yep, I love 21. JBL and Cena had some great matches, in their feud. They also had some pretty bad ones.
Yeah, like this one.
And I think this one we're talking about now falls into that. Like you said, it didn't do what an opener is supposed to do at all. It was just such a blah match.
Yeah, because an opener is a tone setter. And I don't think this is the way you want to set the tone for the show. But, hey.
No, neither do I.
But, in the end, JBL would look to hit the clothesline from hell, but Cena would duck and hit him with the FU. Then he pinned Bradshaw, get the win. Cena would be the winner, 15 minutes, 3 seconds, half a star from me, star and 3/4 from you.
Yeah, I didn't hate it as much as you did. I didn't think it was good, but I didn't hate it.
Oh, wait, did I say half a star?
Yeah.
I meant to say star and a half.
Okay, so I still thought it was a bit better than you, but I
It's like a tad.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't good, but I didn't hate it.
For a second, I thought I said half a star. I'm like, uh-oh. It wasn't that awful, trust me.
No.
So, following the match, they would show a shot of the 2008 King of the Ring winner and Raw General Manager William Regal, who was sitting in the skybox. They'd show him, multiple times.
They would, let's just say that he was supposed to get pushed around this time, but that would be canceled because of some, how do I say it, some wellness policy problems.
Yeah, I guess he had violated the wellness policy, so he'd be suspended for 30 days.
Because he was supposed to get pushed around this time, right?
I believe the rumors would say that he was supposed to win the World Heavyweight Championship or something like that. Maybe the WWE title was on the show at this point, but I remember they did that big switch where they put Triple H over on SmackDown, and then the world title was on Raw or whatever. So eventually, then they'd head over.
He was suspended 2 or 3 days after this pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, because remember they ended up doing the match where Kennedy beat him, then he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that was right after this.
Yeah, right after. So it's just interesting to think about that.
I can't remember if it was 30 days or 60 days, but I guess it doesn't matter. But then they'd head over to Michael Cole and Mick Foley, and they did the deal with the fan voting poll on WWE.com, something that they seem to do a lot back at this time. Seems like every pay-per-view in this era, they had the announcers pose the question as to who's going to win or whatever.
To determine who would win the world title between Undertaker and Edge.
Yeah, in this case, the question would be who do you think will win the vacant World Heavyweight Championship tonight, either Edge or Undertaker? Then they'd head over to Taz and Mike Adamle, who are on the call for the next match. So this would be for the WWE Tag Team Championships. It would be The Miz and John Morrison defending against Kane and CM Punk.
Weird tag team there.
Yeah, so prior to the match, they'd show Miz and Morrison mocking both their opponents, both Kane and Punk on the dirt sheet. This is not one of their better spoofs or parodies that they do on there. This is actually pretty bad. A couple things to note here. One being that Kane is the current ECW champion at the time. Something seems a bit odd about that.
Yeah, let me just say that, again, this match wasn't great.
No, not at all.
It was another match here. The problem was ECW matches around this time usually just weren't good.
Well, it was at this point in time, it was getting to the stage where I think it was... I wish the matches on the show itself were good, but yeah, the pay-per-view matches, were not the greatest.
No, because they didn't give them any time, they didn't care about them.
Yeah, I think 2009 was actually a better year for that. Once they got Christian,
how much time?
Once they got Christian on there.
Yeah, how much time did they get for this?
They were able to get 7 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah, again, just a pretty blah match. And the issue is, these are supposed to be the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Yeah, it's a title on SmackDown, and everyone in this match is an ECW guy. And also, another thing to point out, CM Punk was the holder of the Money in the Bank briefcase. So yeah, you got everyone in this match, all technically ECW guys, all competing for a title that was on SmackDown. Nonsense.
Yeah, just not very good. Just something I feel like that was thrown in there to get ECW on the card, maybe?
Yeah, because they didn't... Honestly, they would have been better off just doing, Kane and Morrison or something, because Morrison had picked up the pinfall victory over him. It would have just been honestly been better off doing that.
I don't have much to say about this match.
I don't either. I'm just going to basically just go right to the end. while Morrison was in position, or Punk had him up on his shoulders to hit the GTS, but Miz would grab his leg. Kane would hit the Miz on the outside with the choke slam. And then while Kane was distracted with Miz, John Morrison would hit CM Punk with the Moonlight Drive and pin him for the win. Yeah, it's a really basic, plain match. Did absolutely nothing for Punk and Kane.
No.
Punk is Mr. Money in the Bank, and this does him no good by getting pinned here. But although for whatever reason, it seems like that's kind of like a theme at times, or like a trend where I don't know what it is for like these Money in the Bank winners at times, but once they win that thing, they just go on and lose a bit at times, and I don't understand it.
No, neither do I. It doesn't matter. This was, what did we give this match star-wise?
You went with a 1.5 stars. I went with 2.25 stars.
Yeah, I really didn't like this.
No, I didn't either.
I thought it was pretty blah again. I didn't like how they booked the Money in the Bank winner and make him look weak here, take the pin. It was, it's just a match that didn't need to happen.
And I guess the other thing I don't understand, come to think of it now, is Punk is Mr. Money in the Bank. And I mean, typically the guys who cash in that briefcase, it's like for the World Heavyweight title or WWE title, but he's on ECW. He could cash in for the ECW title. So why would you pair him with the guy he could easily cash in that briefcase on? Anytime, any place, anywhere.
Exactly. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so as I said, 7 minutes, 12 seconds would be the recorded time here. The Miz and John Morrison would retain the WWE Tag Team Championships. So the next we'd have a non-title match. It would be between Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, Chris Jericho, the IC champion, going in the match, but like Cameron just said, that belt would not be on the line.
I think Jericho honestly is the best IC champ ever.
Yeah, he's up there. Miz is up there. I'd say Razor.
Yeah.
Razor.
Even Shawn back in the day. Ton of great champs.
Yes. I love the IC belt. But let me say this. This match rocked.
Oh, yeah, this was awesome.
This was great. The spots in this match, obviously, they're both, legendary guys, probably both at least, these could be both top 10 guys in the history of the business.
Oh, two of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Both amazing talents. You knew what you were going to get from this. Some great spots. I love the spot where Jericho, he went for the, what did he...
There's that, yeah, oh yeah, I think my favorite spot of the match is when he went to do that trademark springboard dropkick where he'd drop kick his opponent off the apron to the ground, and then he would then Shawn would move and he'd hop over the ropes, and then Shawn would catch him with a super kick. Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Just the whole match itself was cool, and then I love the ending because after it ends, you get the call back to WrestleMania a few years ago when they shook hands afterward and Jericho low blowed him, except he didn't low blow him after this time.
Yeah, WrestleMania 19.
Yeah, they did a call back to that, which was cool. How he didn't low blow him and he just shook his hand. This was just an awesome match.
Yeah, so this would be the first Jericho and Michaels match of the feud in 2008. Of course, 5 years back, as we just noted, at WrestleMania 19, these two would face off in what I thought was a great match.
Yeah, of course. It stole the show.
And this is also kind of a theme to this show in a way. There's a lot of WrestleMania matches on this show.
Yeah, there is actually. You're right.
Because you have this,
you're right.
JBL and Cena.
Yeah, JBL and Cena. Edge and Undertaker, Triple H, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels.
Wow, so that's like 4 WrestleMania matches that happen on this show.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's the things you think about sometimes, and you just put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
So Jericho would also work this match pretty much as the heel, which that's the correct formula to go with.
Especially at this point, Shawn couldn't really be heel at this point.
I also point that out because he was.
Cool.
Oh, sorry. You go.
I was going to say it's cool to see Jericho start to be that best in the world character.
Because
this is the birth of the rivalry. This is the beginning of the rivalry that is probably one of the best in the past 20 years in WWE.
Oh, I would agree 100%. And this feuds like this that made me enjoy this time period. And when we go back to do these shows, when I see a match like this on the card, it just makes me like want to talk about it more. But at this point, he was kind of